Pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks. Hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green enough C quantities for a fiend. Save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and Becks and Jets.
What's going on, sports fans? Once again, LJ from H-Town, and we're coming to you RaWordz podcast, week 5 NFL picks. And of course, when I'm doing my picks, I gotta have my main guy on the street with me, Picks from Dave. What's going on, my guy?
We're ready for the first group of buys, I think, right?
Yeah, four teams on the bye this week. So the schedule was pretty easy to cap for the most part, man. Those 4 teams really aren't bet on teams for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They could easily get the bye and won't hurt a thing this week. So it's a lot of good teams that's still playing and some money to be made. So if you're ready, we can jump right into this, sir. And we can just start off tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. We got the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders, home favorite, -6, over under 44.5. So what are your thoughts on this Thursday Night Football?
You know, the thing about this week is, and I index stuff, the index is pretty close, except really for 1 or 2 games. This is on the number, but it kind of surprises me. I still think I'm higher on Chicago than most people. I'm higher on Fields more than most people, and I'm down on Sam Howell and Washington in general. I mean, what has this team done? It's basically Washington has been the same team every year since Joe Theismann was there. They just have not mattered, no matter who they've gotten. And I think that there's some pieces on Chicago. The problem is they just, their defense isn't that good, and Fields hasn't lived up to my expectation. I mean, I'm not going to bet this game, and I guess I have to go with Washington on the side. Mm-hmm. But what I am going to be on for sure is the under. We all know that.
Yeah, of course.
Primetime under.
Definitely.
We'll find some props for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, but definitely on the under for sure. I'm definitely betting the under. It's already in my pocket. Both these teams are probably scoring around about 20 points a game, but they're giving up 30 plus a game. So do we think Sam Howell's going to put up points? Justin Fields going to put up points? Maybe. You know, I mean, can't predict it. They're both horrible on third downs. So see a lot of punts, you know, for the most part. Now, when Washington gets in the red zone, they're 9 of 15. So they could put up touchdowns. But if the Bears get in the red zone, they're 5 of 8. So both of these teams could win, but I just don't like the defenses giving up 30-plus points. And we already know for us, Chicago, you know, they lost 14 straight, 25-plus points allowed in all 14 of those games. 30-plus allowed 8 out of their last 13. So their defense is horrible, man. And if Sam Howell could put up 3 touchdowns, you know, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not going to take a spread on Washington. You know, I don't have any faith that they can. Which they should, but I'm just not interested in betting Washington as a spread. You know, this is something I'm not interested in. And the Bears are horrible, so it could easily be a blowout or it easily could be a field goal game. Who knows? But as far as to pick them, of course, I'm going to be on Washington as well, just because home favorite. And the Bears are 9 and 17 as a road dog since 2020, and they're banged up in their secondary, missing both their safeties. The cornerbacks hurt, so they're having some injury issues on their defense. So Washington should easily take care of business on Thursday night. All right, so let's move on to this one. London, early Sunday morning, 8:30. We got Jacksonville Jaguars again in London, taking on the high-powered Buffalo Bills. -5.5, over under 48.5. What are your thoughts? Jacksonville, Buffalo, in London.
I think Buffalo is kind of hitting their stride after that Jets game. I'm tempted. I need to see whether or not this index included home field advantage, because obviously there is none.
Yeah.
If Buffalo, if anything, Jacksonville's been there for 2 weeks, right? But either way, there's no home field advantage here. Mm-hmm. I might lay. I think they beat them by more than a touchdown, so I'm probably going to be betting Buffalo in this game. Won't be watching it, not getting up, that's for sure. Not after streaming all night Friday and all day Saturday. But this is definitely an easy pick'em spot. It's Buffalo. You know I don't like Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. You know the only thing Jacksonville's ever done good is win me a plus 1,000 odds bet. but I don't like Sunshine. I don't think the pieces around him are that great. I think the coach is overrated. Not high on Jacksonville. Never have been. Still aren't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm definitely going to take Buffalo first half. They're averaging 20 points in the first half. Jacksonville's only averaging 9. So I'm just going to get in and get out on this one. I believe Buffalo can cover the spread, full game as well. I wouldn't mind taking it, but their offense is just too high power, man. They're averaging 4 touchdowns. Like I said, all the offensive categories point to Buffalo. They're excellent in the red zone, 13 of 19. Defense is only giving up 14 points. They got 34 quarterback hits, so they're going to be getting at Trevor Lawrence. And he's going to be running around, having some issues trying to pick apart that Buffalo defense, in my opinion. So I'm definitely on Buffalo first half. I don't know what the number is. Maybe like -2.5, -3, I guess, if it's -5.5. I don't know. But whatever that number is, come Sunday, first half, I'm taking Buffalo for sure. I'm just going to get in and get out and worry about them covering the spread on another team. So we can move on from there, and we can hop over to my team, the Houston Texans, going down to the dirty third, Atlanta Falcons. Falcons -1.5 home favorite, over under 41.5. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts on this one first. For the most part, like I've been mentioning, I like the attitude that DeMeco Ryans has brought to this team. He has a rookie quarterback that's in that pocket, staying poised. He hasn't thrown an interception. Completion percentage is over 65%. So CJ Stroud has been playing very well. They end up winning last week versus the Steelers as a home dog. I didn't take them as the home dog because they had to prove to me they could win in this situation. Mind you, Pittsburgh's offense is horrible, so I should have took the Texans anyway just on that because Pittsburgh can't move the ball. But I just had to see it for myself, and I like what I saw. They were able to run the ball a little bit, get some momentum going, and he has a great connection with Nico Collins. So I'm very high on the Texans this week. I haven't took the bet yet, but the fact that I looked up that Atlanta is 4-10 against the spread as a home favorite since 2020, I'm more than likely are going to jump on my Texans. They're excellent in the red third down, like I mentioned last week, 8-16, which is top, in NFL, 31 time of possession. That means they're keeping the ball, 368 total yards, so they're staying on the field. And like last game before, I might be on the Texans first half because they're averaging 12 points in the first half. Atlanta's only averaging 4. So I'm probably going to be on Texans first half and full game. I love the spot. The only thing Atlanta can do is run the ball. So as long as we stop the ball, control the line of scrimmage, make Desmond Ridder beat you from the passing game, I don't believe he can. So I'm all on my Texans this week. We've only gave the ball over twice. Atlanta had 3 turnovers their last game, 5 in 4 games. So they turned the ball over. So I'm trusting that we can get them to make mistakes, catch the momentum, keep them on the sideline, make them play from behind. Because the defense, like I said, still has to prove to me that they can stop the opposition. Now, I am going to be looking at my kicker Fairburn over 1.5 field goals because he's averaging 3 field goals in 4 games. So he should get 2. Texans should get a touchdown, keep Atlanta under 20 points because they're only averaging 15. And I see the Texans coming out with this victory in the ATL, Dave. What we got?
I'm with you. My index says that there's a point of value on the other side, but I don't care. You look kind of where these teams are. One team's catching their stride, and their young quarterback's figuring things out, and their defense is playing well. Their coach has some mojo. On the other side, you have a team that won its first 2 games, then lost its last 2. And even in the ones that they won, the Packers, they won by 1 point. They gave up 25 points. And then great, they beat the Panthers, probably, maybe the worst team in the NFL. And when you look at the defenses, both defenses are actually pretty good as far as points given up. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at what the offenses can do, it's all around the quarterback. And I know they can only run the ball. Like I said, it's one-dimensional. They have Drake London and Pitts. What's his first name? Kyle Pitts, right?
Kyle, yeah.
Yeah. They got them, but Desmond Ridder, we were playing this game on another live stream. Who would you rather have? He might be the low. I might want to take everyone else. I would take backups before him. He's that bad. So and by the way, their backup is better than him. I don't know why they're not starting Heineke, but anyway, I'm taking the Houston Texans. It's official bet and pick them.
All right, buddy. I got it. Yeah, I'm confident we can come out with the win and keep this momentum going for the season because, like I mentioned, I love the attitude we have on our team now. And D'Amico Ryan's got this team believing. And he got some young guys, so they want to prove themselves. And what a great way to prove yourself on the road against a team that's only averaging 15 points a game. So I'm confident that Texans can take care of business. Let's move on to this one, Dave. We got the Carolina Panthers versus the Detroit Lions. The Lions are home favorite, -9.5, over under 45. Give me your thoughts. Carolina, Detroit.
Carolina, Detroit. I mean, let me look at the index real quick to make sure. Yeah, the line's accurate. There's no way I'm betting on Carolina pretty much ever. I might want to look at a rushing prop for Detroit, but I'll make this one easy. I'm not going to put a bet on the side or the total. I am going to pick Detroit for the pick'em contest, and that's it.
All right. I'm on Detroit as well. Their offense is better, and they should dominate this run game. Keep Carolina, playing from behind. I think they can control the line of scrimmage. And as far as Bryce Young, I mean, he's a rookie, man. He's ranked 30th in passer rating, so he's just making too many mistakes, and he's probably not ready to be an NFL quarterback. He was thrown in there, and I think going up against a high-power offense like Detroit, second road start, it didn't fold well his first road start, So I'm expecting the same results in this one. And the defense is ranked 29th in yards per rush. So, like I said, I believe Detroit can control the run game. Goff, play action, get his receivers, and pretty much have an easy day, in my opinion, bro. They're at home, which they play well. They're averaging 26 points for this season. And they come out strong in the first half, averaging 15 points. Carolina's only averaging 9. So I believe Detroit handles business early and often, man. That's it for the most part. Detroit's a great against the spread team as well. 9-0 against the spread since 2018 when they won by more than one score their last game. And they're 20-8 in their last 28 games against the spread. So I'm going to ride with Detroit for sure. I like the attitude that Dan Campbell has brought to that team as well because they've taken on the attitude of their coach. And I like it. It was a great hire, in my opinion. He got those boys fighting, and they could definitely win the division. The fact that Aaron Rodgers is gone now, so they definitely could compete for this division, considering how sucky the other teams are in their division. So
yeah,
I'm right with there, buddy. Detroit. What was the spread? 9.5. I'm probably not going to take that. I just take the first half and get in and get out. Usually when it's a double-digit spread, man, I just like taking the first half. I just feel more confident in that, because backdoor covers are easily happening in NFL. All right, man, let's move on to this one. The Tennessee Titans, -1.5 road favorites versus the Indianapolis Colts, over under 43. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, why the Titans are road? I have no clue. Someone knows something, but I'm taking the bait.
Yeah,
I'm betting the Colts. Anthony Richardson, if he can stay, non-concussed, I don't know what the word is for the opposite of being concussed. He's a dude. He needs to work a little bit. He can't be a Lamar Jackson. He's got to be a guy that can drop back in the pocket or step up in the pocket and throw. But he's definitely talented. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's any way I'm betting that. Again, the Titans are on my shit list. So contest bet maybe, bet probably, pick them definitely the Colts.
Yeah, I'm on the Colts too. There's no reason the Titans should be a road favorite of the Colts. They're averaging more points. They're averaging more total yards. They're averaging more first downs, and they're in the red zone 8 of 11. The Titans are only 5 of 13. So I'm definitely on the Colts. I believe in Anthony Richardson, like you said, as long as he could just stay out of harm's way, slide. Just be smart about how you attack. The offense to where you get hurt real quick trying to run. I believe I see similarities of Cam Newton in him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's
Yeah.
going to eventually get you hurt. You know, you need to just slide, live for another day, because you bow well with this offense. You know, I like you can get anytime touchdown, you know, at any given situation. Let's just play smart. But for the most part, like I said, I'm taking the Colts. They allow 25 points a game, and that's probably why that line is the way it is. But I just believe that being at home versus a division foe, I don't like Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a believer in him. And in the second half, the Titans only averaged 5 points. So if the Colts can keep it close in the first half, because they're both averaging 11 points in the first half. So as long as it's close in the first half, the Colts should pull away in the second half. And that's just how I see the game going. And I'm definitely going to be on the Colts for sure, because I believe the wrong team is favored.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let's go to this massacre in the making, sir. The New York Giants going out to Miami to take on these Dolphins. The Dolphins are minus 11, over under 48.5. Now, I could give my quick thoughts on this one. I'm on Miami first half, simply because Miami averages 21 points in the first half. The Giants only average 2. And as me and you saw a couple of days ago, Giants in Seattle, it was an atrocity, man. The Giants cannot do anything on offense whatsoever. Daniel Jones is horrible. He's had 6 interceptions in 4 games, 8 turnovers combined. They're giving him 30 points on defense. He's only averaging 94 yards rushing, and he's bottom 3 in passing at 158 yards. And not to mention, first downs, they're only averaging 5 a game. So all that said, man, Miami, we already know how powered they are. They are number 1, Dave, in rushing and passing. Number 1. So
Yeah.
what could make me think that the Giants can do anything against this team? Like, Miami probably would take care of this game in the first half and probably won't even care, man. They probably put their starters in again like they did versus Denver. You know, not to say they're going to put up 70 points, but this should cover the spread twice. So, like I just mentioned, I'm not big on taking big spreads, but I may have to take this one, man, because I the Giants, what we saw on Monday night, I don't see Miami. I don't see the Giants staying in any type of range of Miami, man. They're averaging 37 points, number 1 in NFL, averaging 5 touchdowns. So, and Miami is 10-4 as a home favorite against the spread since 2020. So I'm definitely on Miami first half, and I'm strongly considering the 11 for the full game. What we got?
Yeah. Well, you said it all. The Giants are just anemic's not even the word. They're just incapable of scoring points. I've been on all their unders. I've bet against them. I think a lot of my money the first couple of weeks of the season has been betting Giants games and betting against them. I think the only way to bet this game, I'm not going to take the side or the total, is to find props. The problem is you probably miss the train with A-Chain and some of these guys. But yeah, Mostert, who I knew, I saw him in San Francisco. I knew he was good, but we'll see what the number's at. I mean, I'd take it to a reasonably. I'll look at their season average and then take it maybe a little bit above that because Giants are so bad. But the one place you should be actually looking are the receivers, because the Giants start 2 rookie cornerbacks, and even though Dak Prescott didn't do so well against them, didn't do poorly. He didn't need to. The defense was ripping him up. They scored 40 points another way. He didn't have a passing touchdown. But Brock Purdy had 2, throw for over 300. He's just an above-average quarterback. So we're talking about a guy that has thrown for 600 yards before. Look at the wide receivers. Maybe too obvious of a bet, but for the pick 'em, it's the Dolphins.
I agree. And number 1 prop to take in this game, Daniel Jones over half an interception. It's probably minus 170. Like I could easily see it at that price. So you could parlay it with something else like the field goal kicker for Miami, or even the passing yards for Tua. Who knows? It's a lot of ways you can go, but definitely Daniel Jones over half an interception is going to cash. Okay. All right, man, let's move on to this one. We got the New Orleans Saints going to the New England Patriots. Patriots are -1 home favorite, over under 40. What are your thoughts? New Orleans and Patriots.
Tough game here. Patriots are struggling. Bill Belichick's feeling the pain. Mac Jones is just Daniel Jones is ineffective. So is Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Both of them. Is Derek Carr is back, right? He's back in action, or is he still floundering?
No, he played last game.
He did. I thought I heard something about him potentially. I don't know, and it doesn't matter. You're high on the Saints. Maybe you're not as high as you were. I wasn't. That they just. I can see through it. And I know that Derek Carr going there was some big excitement. He's never had a defense. Blah blah blah. That hasn't really panned out. I mean, in Foxborough, I don't know with the side on this one. And the index is. Let me pull up the index. The index is basically a half a point to New Orleans. So it's not enough for me to care for an advantage. I won't bet anything in this game, but for the sake of the pick'em and for the sake of the Patriots, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be on the Patriots. And yeah, you just mentioned that I was high on the Saints in the beginning of the season. Yeah, I was. I looked at the schedule and I saw a little pattern, but now that I've saw the Saints, I'm not fond of them, man. They're only averaging 15 points. Derek Carr has not looked like I needed him to look with this team. He can't score touchdowns. They're punting at least 5 times a game. The field goal kicker's averaging 3. So it seems like to me, your kicker is averaging more points than your quarterback is throwing touchdowns. So that's not a good recipe for success for me. They're only 4-12 in the red zone. New England is 6-9. So for that reason, puts me on New England at home. And I'm already on the under 40. Both these teams are scoring under 20 points, and they're allowing under 20 points for the most part. So I believe it's an under game. I see field goals, and I believe New England will probably pull this game out at the end. They both give up the ball a lot. Since Saints have 6 turnovers, New England has 7. So they need to both take care of the ball better. But far as the side, I see Belichick handling business. Derek Carr's not much of a threat right now, at least from what I've seen. Maybe they can get Kamara going, get some offense out of the backfield to get him going, but if he doesn't have any help, I don't see Derek Carr going down there winning the game. Not at least not right now. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it's a new teams, new system, but I can't bet on them right now. And New England, like I said, they're at home. They don't do well as a home favorite as well, but I'm going to take a chance on them and take them on the pick 'em. Not going to bet the side, but I am going to be on the under 40 for sure because both of these teams can't score for the most part. All right, let's get to this one, man. Divisional matchup. Baltimore on the road versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think I got that wrong. Pittsburgh is it's not minus 3.5, right? So I have that wrong?
No, it's Baltimore -4, I believe.
Yeah, I got that wrong. Wow. Let me correct that. You could talk about it while I correct that. What's your thoughts, Ravens and Steelers?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Ravens. I think this is an actual bet. I'm taking them as a road favorite against my Steelers. Steelers defense stinks, giving up 25 points a game. The Ravens defense is good, giving up under 15 points a game. When you look at all the rest of the players and the quarterback on the other side, obviously 2 great coaches. We got to throw that in there. And the Steelers are at home, but I don't like what I've seen from the Steelers, and I still think the Ravens haven't shown their best football. So I'm on the Ravens for the pick'em, and I'm betting the Ravens -4 on the road.
Yep, I am right there with you, man. Lamar Jackson has showed me that he has a little bit of chip on his shoulder. Like I said, all the noise in the offseason, he got his contract. And usually when guys get their money, they kind of come out lackluster, not so motivated anymore. The hunger's kind of lost, but it looks like that fire's still burning in him. And he's limited. He has a lot of key players hurt, and he's still going out being effective. He had 2 touchdowns last week, and it was staring me in my face on Sunday morning. I was looking at it. Lamar Jackson, anytime touchdown. I promise you I was looking at it, but I didn't take it, and he had 2 of those. So I was upset for not taking that. But far as the side, I'm all on Baltimore. They're averaging 25 points. Pittsburgh's only averaging 15, 335 total yards, 20 first downs, third down, 7 of 14. rushing 151 yards. Most of that is Lamar. Red zone, man, they are 12 and 15 in the red zone. So when Baltimore gets down there, they score touchdowns, buddy. Justin Tucker has not had to work so far this season. I mean, excuse me, as far as his extra points, but as far as field goal kicking, he hasn't been needed his services at all. Now, Pittsburgh, they punt 6 times a game, which is number 1 in NFL. So that lets me know they are not having any type of offense. First downs, they're only averaging 13, which is worse than the league. 57 plays, which is bottom 5, so they don't stay on the field. Defenses allowing 421 total yards a game. So Pittsburgh is just not a betting situation right now. And Tomlin's going to have to think about some things because we're not assuming that he's on the hot seat. But, hey, you never know, man. I mean, the Steelers aren't known for making changes like that. But if it gets worse, man, ain't no telling. I can't predict it. I don't know if Kenny Pickett's going to play. But even if he doesn't play, he's still struggling on the offensive side. And even if Trubisky plays, it's going to continue, in my opinion, because he's not much better. And not to mention, they have a lot of offensive line issues. That's why Pickett's been getting sacked and pressured so much. So I believe Baltimore is going to be heavy on the pass rush, giving up, quarterback hits. They have 30. The Ravens have 15 sacks. So they're going to be having a lot of pressure on Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh is 9-0 against the spread past week 2 is in the season off a 20-point loss. But I just believe that we got to go back and look who they played, so I didn't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to disregard that trend and trust that the Ravens cover this spread on the road minus the 4 because the Ravens look good to me. And I'm probably going to be on the Ravens first quarter as well because they've scored 7 points in the first quarter every single game. So I believe that's going to be consistent as well. So I'm going to be on the Ravens first quarter and full game minus the 4. All right, Dave, let's go to this one. Cincinnati Bengals, another road favorite, minus 3, going down to your neck of the woods, the Arizona Cardinals, over under 44.5. What are your thoughts, Bengals Cardinals?
This should not be that difficult. There's actually value in the line and taking. By the way, these are both 1-3 teams, so go figure. But not a game I think I want to bet. Not at 3, maybe at 2.5. I'd think about it if I could get it. Cardinals have shown hope. In fact, I don't know about last game, but I know the first 2 games they were leading going into halftime, weren't they? Even though they lost,
they were.
I don't know that had happened the past 2 games. But either way, Cardinals aren't as bad as we thought. They're still bad. The Cincinnati Bengals are way worse than people thought. I wasn't super high on them, but Burrow's having issues. The problem is their O-line. Why it's still a problem, God only knows, because it's been a problem for a long time. Go get someone, go pay for someone, go draft someone, go do something. But they're basically going. The Bengals hate Joe Burrow because they want him to die, essentially. I'm taking the Bengals in the pick'em. I'll come back to it maybe for a play, but definitely no interest in betting the game. But I'll take the Bengals for the pick'em.
Well, first one that we're on opposite sides.
Yeah,
I'm taking Arizona, man. I'm taking them first half for sure. They're averaging 16 points in the first half, like you just mentioned, and the Bengals are only averaging 5 points in the first half. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to get in and get out. I'm not going to take the full game because the Bengals are favored, so I'm not going to take that. I'm just going to trust Arizona, jump on them early, and we'll see if the Bengals can hold on towards the end of the game. But all the offensive statistics show to Arizona: total yards per play, first downs, rushing, and passing. All is on the side of Arizona. And they're 6-10 in the red zone. So when they get into the red zone, they score. The defense is giving up 25 points, though. That's still an issue. But when was the last time the Bengals scored 25 points? I don't know. So I don't see any type of threat there. And they're only averaging 4 third downs a game for the Bengals. So they can't stay on the field. Now, Arizona, I'm not saying they're just this high-power offense that's just going to drive down the field. I see probably another field goals because the Bengals average 6 points just like the Steelers do. So they give the ball away. So Maybe a Matt Prater game again, over 1.5 field goals. You know what I'm saying? That's always an easy bet at home. But far as the side, I'm just going to go with Arizona in the first half because that's where they played the best. And trust that Cincinnati can keep it close. But I'm not going to take it. They are 7-4 against the spread as a road favorite since 2020. So they do play well in this spot. But what we've seen from Joe Burrow is not the same Joe Burrow. And I'm not going to trust that he's just going to become this all of a sudden better player in a couple of weeks after what I saw the last couple of games. So
yeah.
that's my play. Arizona first half, and I'm just going to get in and get out. All right, buddy. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles, road favorite again, -4 versus the Los Angeles Rams over under 50. That's a big number right there, 50. I will start this one off. Very interesting game right here. Eagles have stayed the course. You know, they're averaging 30 points. They was averaging 29 last year. The Rams are averaging 24 points. They was averaging 18 points last year. So they've increased their scoring. Both these teams are pretty much spot on in total yards, plays per game, yards per play. Like, I didn't see no advantage besides the rushing for the Eagles. They're averaging 165 rushing, but passing, the Rams are averaging 288. So that cancels each other out, in my opinion. Now, both of these field goal kickers are averaging 3 field goals a game. So I believe that is the money play right there. You either could take both or take one or the other, because I believe at least one of these field goal kickers will have over 1.5 field goals. Now, when they get into the red zone, both teams are well. 6 of 10 for the Eagles, 8 and 13 for the Rams. So they're both great in the red zone. Now, the Eagles defense is probably going to be the difference in this game. If they could get pressure on Matthew Stafford, because they have 31 quarterback hits on the season, which is number 1 in the NFL, 11 sacks. So that's their bread and butter, getting pressure on the quarterback to make him make mistakes. And we already know Jalen Hurts likes to hold the ball, run the ball, keep the time moving. He's not necessarily a knockout punch type of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He likes to, slowly trickle down the field. And then they have Swift that's going to probably dominate the backfield, get his touches, get his rushing off. So I believe they're going to try to control that time of possession and limit Matthew Stafford's attempts, keep him on the sideline, make the Rams play from behind. Now, they are on the road. The Eagles kind of are shaky on the road in the last couple of years I've saw. So, but are the Rams good enough to hold them off at home? I don't know. I'm going to have to see it. I'm not betting a side. I'm probably not going to bet anything in this game, because I just want to sit and watch. The Eagles are 17-3 in their last 20 versus the NFC. Jalen Hurts, 25-3 in his last 28 games. So he's been playing well for the most part, staying consistent in that offense. Now, the Rams are 5-1 as a home dog since 2020. So they could cover this game. It is 4. Eagles could win by a field goal, and the Rams still cover that score. And we've known that Sean McVay is down to cover the points. So your thoughts, buddy? Eagles and Rams.
That is true. You actually pushed me over the edge on this game. When you look at the Eagles, and if the Eagles and the Rams statistically are the same in a bunch of different categories, that's not good for the Eagles. Supposedly the best team in the NFC, right? So against the Commander, they've had the 4 wins are 4-0. 3 of those wins they definitely could have lost. They could have lost to Washington. They could have lost to the Minnesota, and the Patriots had the ball at the end of the game driving down the field. They were never losing to the Bucs. But either way, then you go to the Rams. And the Rams, let me pull it up because I don't remember it off of the top of my head. But the Rams have had super close. Well, they beat the Colts. They beat the Seahawks. They had a real close game with the Niners. At one point, they were ahead. Yep. And they lost to the Bengals by a field goal. So I'm definitely betting 4.5 to 5.5. That's a dog line. I'm getting almost 2 points of value on the index, but I'm also going to take a flyer with them for the pick'em, because you gotta shake it up to be able to win one of these things. So that's going to be let's say the Rams hand the Eagles their first loss on the road.
Hey man, I wouldn't be shocked. To be honest, I would not be shocked at all. McVay's a good coach. He likes to play chess, and I could believe these coaches probably are going to try to one up each other for sure. Yeah. It's just all about which quarterback is going to perform at the end. Are you going to trust Matthew Stafford or are you going to trust Jalen Hurts? So history shows Hurts has been the more bet on guy, but we'll see what happens. All right, buddy. Let's move to this one. Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, another road favorite. -4 going out to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, it's not a lot of much to be said in this game. I'm definitely on Kansas City. And I'm going to take Kansas City -4. Simply because I always say Minnesota cannot run the ball. So you're depending on Kirk Cousins to throw this ball down the field and try to win games for you. And I don't see it happening. He's only 4 of 11 on third downs. So they can't even stay on the field. They're only averaging 83 yards rushing. They're averaging 0 field goals. So their kicker has not had a chance to get any type of points on the board. And their defense is allowing 24 points a game. They don't have a pass rush. It's 4th worst in pass efficiency. And Kansas City's offense is just too much, man. I mean, they were kind of shaky Sunday night versus the Jets? Yeah. Seems like to me Patrick Mahomes was kind of shaving points, man. I don't know. He threw some questionable interceptions, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I don't want to get into conspiracies then and there. I just know that Kansas City did not put up their well of enough effort. But they still won that game. So I don't see them being any different versus Minnesota. They have all the offensive advantages on the 31 time of possession. Minnesota only averages 26 time of possession. So, and when Kansas City gets in the red zone, they score 9-16. Defense is only giving up 15 points. They was giving up 22 points last year. So that's a great improvement on the defense to cut down those points. They got 26 quarterback hits, so they get after the quarterback. You got Chris Jones, causing havoc. And like I mentioned, Patrick Mahomes is definitely the better quarterback, so I would rather trust him before I can trust Kirk Cousins. Now, interesting trend. Minnesota is 6-0 to the over since December 2020 as 4-point underdogs. So, possibly go over 52, but that's a big number. Not going to touch it. I took the over last week. Who was it? No, it was the week before when Minnesota played the Chargers and it didn't go over. So I'm going to stay off the total in this game because you never know, man. But I'm definitely going to pick Kansas City to win the game. What we got?
Yeah, definitely picking Kansas City to win the game. Definitely scratching my chin whether I should be taking this advantage. There are 2 points of value to them. They should be 6-point favorites according to the index. Problem is Kansas City has not been covering. Usually a road cover team. I think they barely covered against the Jags and they didn't cover against the Jets. Something's going on. Doesn't look, Mahomes doesn't look right. Maybe it's just some sort of funk. Their defense looks pretty decent, which is strange for Kansas City. But I'm just going to say for this game, and we can move on, I'm taking Kansas City for the pick'em, and I'm probably not betting a side. I should be betting Kansas City based on the numbers, but something tells me they win by a field goal.
Yeah, the normal field goal that they do on the road. Yeah. This is what they do. Patrick Mahomes seems to not care about covering spreads a lot. He just wants to win the game.
Which is fine. I mean, which is fine. It's not good for me. So
hey, but like I said, we can't expect these guys to always want to put money in our pockets. They're trying to win the game, but hey, we just got to pick our spots. But Kansas City for sure, and not to mention Minnesota. They have 11 turnovers in 4 games, which is worse than the NFL. So can't trust a team that gives the ball over that much, man. It's just not gonna happen. Let's move on to this one, man. Another bum fight, in my opinion. We got the Jets versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos are -1 home favorite, over under 43. Now, my quick thoughts on this is not going to be long. I want to take Denver. But do I want to take Denver, Dave? Both these offenses are not good. Denver was lucky enough to come back last week versus Chicago. I think Chicago had that game won. I just think the coach made some questionable mistakes. It's just I'm still scratching my head on that. But Denver still gives up the most points in the 37.5 points. Not to say Zach Wilson's going to go out there and put up 30 points. I could just see both defenses probably causing turnovers on each side, in my opinion. When Denver gets in the red zone, they score 8 of 14. Russell Wilson is throwing the ball, 237 passing yards a game. So he is definitely should be the better quarterback in our opinion. But total yards, they have the advantage in there. And first half, Denver is averaging 14 points in the first half. Jets are only averaging 7. So if you want to take Denver first half, I think that's the better spot. But as far as full game, it's -1 for a reason. It's a coin flip, in my opinion. It's probably whoever gets lucky and has the momentum at the end of the game. But I'm not really interested in picking a side because I just think both teams you can fade, especially the Jets, 8-15 as a road dog since 2020. But Denver, can I trust them? Not so much. So I'm just probably going to pass on this game. But like I said, I will lean Denver first half, considering the Jets are horrible in the first half. So what are your thoughts?
This is actually the biggest discrepancy on the index. It's saying that the Jets should be 6. Well, actually, it says that the wrong team's favored.
Wow.
Yeah, the Jets should be favored by 2.5 points. Here's the deal. Zach Wilson showed that he was, I don't know, not competent, that he wasn't absolute trash last game. Okay, fair enough. This defense is still good. There were some bad calls that went the way. I'm with Saul on that last one. Mm-hmm. So the game should have been a little different. I think Denver is in shambles from last year. I think Russell Wilson is he's not injured, is he?
No, he's playing.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
I don't know why. I'm trying to think. So much information. I'm trying to think of either way. It almost kind of doesn't matter. And then Sean Payton going to Denver. What did he think was going to happen? The culture has a problem there now, and we've seen that. And the locker room hates being there. There's interviews with that one lineman that said, "All I do is lose here. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it."
Yeah.
Take a flyer with the numbers are telling me the Jets, even though they are the Jets. This is a bum fight, but give me New York, and I'm betting New York actually.
Ooh, so, yeah. See on the Jets. All right, I
like what is Denver doing that is that much better than anything that the Jets are doing?
Or hey, man, hey, I have no argument there, seriously. Yeah. But I'm just gonna go the opposite because, like we said, we got to shake it up a little bit.
Of course.
I'll see if Denver can win at home. Over the mediocre offense of the Jets. All right, buddy. Let's get to this one. Big game right here. Big game. This is a big game. Sunday Night Football. We will be on live stream with Jimmy the Bag Plus Sports Radio. The Dallas Cowboys going down to Santa Clara, California to take on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are -3.5 home favorite, over under 45. Now, Dave, very, very interesting matchup because both of these teams match up pretty much identical. I'm talking about points, first half points, first downs, time of possession, rushing yards. I mean, everything is probably within 5 or 6 points of a range. The only difference, that's the difference in this game, is the defensive points allowed. Dallas is only allowing 10, 49ers are allowing 14. Now, it's both under 20, but Dallas, most of that is on the defensive side of the ball, in my opinion, because Dak Prescott is not the type of quarterback, in my opinion, that could drive down the field and put up points. He has a lot on his defense that keeps him in these games. Now, they are averaging 3 touchdowns on offense a game. Now, I don't know how that is. It may be a lot of running, but I don't see Dak Prescott contributing to a lot of these points. He's much more of a mediocre type of quarterback. He stays within, the lines, dink and dunk screens and things like that. You can't trust Dak Prescott to throw over the top. And I believe the 49ers know that. And I believe Shanahan is going to come up with a great game plan to limit Dak Prescott attempts, make him beat you from the top. Keep those linebackers inside, put pressure on him, and make him make a decision. I feel how this game is going to go. Now, the 49ers run game is too elite, in my opinion. I believe they can control the Dallas's defensive line and put pressure on them, wear them out, you know what I'm saying, beat them up. And I believe the 49ers can come out victorious in this game. Now, I want to mention, though, there's always 2 upsets in the NFL every single week. Could this be a potential upset? Dallas come in here and beat these 49ers? It's a great possibility, man. But I don't see it happening. I believe the 49ers are better. I believe Christian McCaffrey is an MVP candidate. You're going to have to stop him. Now, if Dallas can neutralize him and make Brock Purdy do something different, we may have a different story. But my numbers say 49ers as a home favorite, 13 straight games, not coming off a bye, 18-3 in the last 21 versus the conference, 20-10 against the spread in the last 30 games. So all those numbers tell me that the 49ers should take care of business at home versus these Cowboys. And I'm going to bet it because I believe that you cannot stop Christian McCaffrey. Dallas is going to have to show me that they can go into Santa Clara and neutralize the 49ers offense. So that is my play. 49ers minus a 3.5.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is going to be a really, really good game, or it should be, at least on paper. Very, very similar teams in a lot of ways, except for I think that the Niners have an edge. Obviously, I know the Niners have an edge in rushing. I actually think they have an edge in coaching too. But every time we say this game's going to be close, the Niners end up winning. And we've seen that. We've seen all the memes where the Cowboys fans are crying, and most of the time it's in the playoffs. As far as the pick'em goes, I'm picking the Niners at home. I don't know how you couldn't. As far as the game goes, the line's about right. And the hook scares me. Definitely. So I won't be betting the game side at all. I will be on the under because it's a primetime game, obviously.
Yes.
But Niners to win and kind of continue their dominance of the Cowboys. I mean,
yeah, I agree. And not to mention, I want to throw this out here: the field goal kicker for Dallas, Arbery. I think his name is Brandon Arbery. He's averaging 3 field goals a game. So that pretty much lets me know the field goal kicking and the defense is what's scoring these points on this Cowboy team. And that's how I'm going to look to see how the 49ers are going to attack. They're going to have to make Dallas beat them another way. And I believe that Shanahan will have a good game plan to neutralize that. They're putting up 31 points. Like I said, I don't see it changing in any way. They may not score 30, but I believe like a 25, maybe 17 game, somewhere around there. I believe the 49ers could possibly win this game by a touchdown. Because I believe that Dak's going to make a mistake at the end. It could be close. It could be within range. But at the end in the fourth quarter, when the money's on the line, I believe the 49ers can make Dak Prescott make a mistake. Turn the ball over, interception, fumble, whatever. Loss of downs, whatever the case may be. But I just believe that's going to happen eventually. Because I just think the 49ers, that's just too much, man. All right, buddy. Last game. Monday Night Football. We have the Green Bay Packers going on the road to Las Vegas to take on these Raiders. Green Bay's -1 as a road favorite, over under 44.5. Now, my quick thoughts on this one. Raiders are trash. Giving up 10 turnovers, allowing 25 points. They're only averaging 3 third downs. They're only averaging 15 points a game. And is Jimmy Garoppolo still in concussion protocol? I don't know. But the backup quarterback didn't play bad. You see what I'm saying? But it's just, I just feel it's just too much for him right now to get thrown in there on the national stage. Jordan Love has played well, in my opinion. You know, I like him. I like his attitude. And Green Bay seems to step it up in the second half. They tend to start slow. They're only averaging 5 points in the first half, but they're averaging 19 to 20 points in the second half. So it seems like to me they come out of halftime and make the proper adjustments to get back in the game. Like I said, the Raiders are trash. They can't run the ball. 65 yards rushing is what they're averaging, man. And I just don't see them doing anything on Monday Night Football. And like I said, they have quarterback issues. And Devontae Adams is not happy. You know, he's talking to the media, talking about he's not happy. He wants to get out for the most part. And I just think the locker room is in turmoil. And that's not a way that you can bet on a team when the cohesiveness of the team is not, you know what I'm saying, in good terms. So all that said, I'm on Green Bay's pick'em, and I'm not going to take the -1. You know, I'm just going to let this ride. But we already know, prime time, we're taking the under in this game for sure. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you said it all. Vegas is garbage. Green Bay. I like Love. I think, obviously they've got a great running back tandem. They've got issues in the O-line. I know that. Their defense isn't living up to expectation, but it's the Raiders. What are the Raiders doing better than the Packers are doing? I don't know. And I don't think it matters if it's Aiden O'Connell, who was a good college quarterback, or Jimmy Garoppolo. It's tomato at this point. I'm on the under. So I'm going Green Bay. I'm betting the money line. It's close enough. I think it's minus 118 is what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
I take it up to minus 130. And under in Green Bay for me.
Yeah, that's a good line. Money line for sure. That's not that too much of juice to take that. So yeah, man, we ran through that pretty quick. Like I said, the schedule's pretty light, and it wasn't that too much of a hard scratch to cap these games. It's a lot of mismatches for the most part. So I'm looking at another good Sunday, man. Enjoy it, kick back, watch these games and make some money. So, like I said, appreciate you for coming on again, and let my good people know where they can find you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Tone Miggins, Nasty Nate, Markel, Gerardo, you guys are awesome. Picks from Dave on YouTube, Picks from Dave on Twitter. Friday night streaming, all day Saturday night streaming on PSR on Sundays. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. And every Wednesday with LJ, RaWordz.
Yes, sir. Like you just mentioned, you can find both of us on all the Pub Sports streams, man. It's just the time of the year. We got baseball playoffs popping off. We got football. And we got the NBA in 3 weeks, Dave.
Yeah.
It's just finna be, wow. Hectic, man. 3 sports going on at the same time. What more can you ask for, buddy? If this is what we want to do, this is what we enjoy doing. So we got to put
Philly
it to work.
just hit a grand slam, 7-0.
Who hit it?
Stott.
I'm on Castillo.
None of the guys, Castellanos or Harper, those guys were all on base.
Oh, okay. So I may have got a run with Castillius because I took his run plus hit run RBI. He
scored. I'll see if he hit a RBI or a hit at a RBI yet. Castellanos has no RBIs but a run.
Oh, he has a run. Okay.
Another run.
It's all good. I can ask for it. So yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, RaWordz Podcast. We just shut down week 5 of the NFL football. Gave you our picks, and hopefully we can get some money. So. Till next time, like I said, catch us on Pub Sports Radio. Catch us on Nerd Talk on Friday. We will be on Nerd Talk, capping the games, baseball playoffs. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on. Astros they don't play till Saturday, huh? Yeah, they don't play till Saturday. But yeah, definitely, I'm going to be on my Astros this year in the playoffs for sure. Even though I'm not expecting us to win because I think our pitching has kind of digressed from last year. But hey, we still got the bet, so anything can happen. So we'll be on Astros. And like we mentioned, we're going to be on Jimmy the Bag Sunday and Monday for sure. Monday's kind of a bore, but hey, Sunday's going to be awesome. Dallas and 49ers can't wait, man. It's going to be a good game. So, till then, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for tuning in. RaWordz Podcast, LJ from H-Town, Picks from Dave. Follow him on all the streaming platforms, and we will see y'all next week.
Yeah, R-A-W, words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pumping on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and up, see quantities.